फ्रेंड्स, मैं हूं सुधा झा। मेरा प्रोफेशन है टीचिंग। फॉर लास्ट 22 ईयर्स मैं इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ा रही हूँ बच्चों को। तो चलिए मैं और आप इकोनॉमिक्स की जर्नी की तरफ आगे बढ़ते हैं। We started the chapter development. Still, we have to go for 2 more classes to complete it. And we have studied about income and other goals, correct, in the previous class. Today's topic I'm going to take is income and other criteria, including the public facilities according to UNDP. Correct. So income and other criteria. That day we studied income, then we want job security, then we want facilities for the family. Correct. Then we want safety, education level of the children, then health, etc. comes. But today the topic is, you feel that the topic is same, income and other criteria, but here I am taking according to UNDP, including public services. What is UNDP? It is United Nations Development Program. So till now we were reading only according to World Bank. So now I'm moving with UNDP. Just come here. So criteria used by the UNDP for classifying countries, whether it is developed or it is underdeveloped or it is developing. So full form of UNDP, United Nations Development Programs. United Nations Development Program. This UNDP uses a particular criteria which is known as HDI. UNDP uses a particular criteria other than income, that is HDI, and the full form is Human Development Index. This HDI is calculated on the basis of many things. What are these? One important is per capita income. I can't say that per capita income is not important. It is one of the criteria. Then we are moving with life expectancy. Then the third point comes literacy rate. Then the fourth one, gross enrollment ratio. What are these four things? Let us move with these four things. Correct? And as I said, Human Development Index is the criteria under which we have seen the 4 points in the previous slide. In the previous slide, you can see HDI calculated on the basis of these 4. So you should know the full form, Human Development Index. But what does Human Development Index mean? This is not something which can be calculated, but at each and every level we want this one. How? Can you define? So it is defined as the process of widening people's choice. Your choice should be widened. If the school is closed, you can't come to the school, then there is a choice of online studying. This is what is a part of HDI. What will happen if we are now studying on online? It is going to raise the level of well-being. So Human Development Index, it is actually defined as the process of widening people's choice as well as raising the level of well-being. So you can't say that there is a loss of academics. There is no loss of academics because we have made your choice that you please come and join online classes. Correct? The second point which comes to the mind is, this is that particular concept which goes beyond. Spelling kind of beyond is wrong. BEYOND. The concept goes beyond income and growth to cover all human choices. To cover all human choices. So not only the income, beyond the income, when we are going to cover all human choices. Just see the third one. It puts the people at the center stage. It puts the people at the center stage and covers all aspects of human development. Why? The people at the center stage? Because the object is of improving the conditions. Improving the conditions. Conditions of whom? The people from all the angles. Now, what are these angles? We should know. See the 3 points once again. It is defined as the process of widening people's choice as well as raising their level of well-being. Second is the concept goes beyond income and growth to cover all human choices. Third is it puts the people at the center stage and covers all aspects of human development with the object of improving the conditions of people from all the angles. Now, what are these angles? We are going to study separately one by one. Just see here. The first angle, already we studied, again we are going to repeat it. Per capita income. How it is calculated? When the national income of the country is divided by its population. When the national income of the country is divided by its population, we get the per capita income. Just see, this is a table which is given in your book. Here, the table shows per capita income of selected states. We have taken 3 states here, correct? Haryana, Kerala, and Bihar. This figure we have taken according to the year 2016 and 17. See, Haryana per capita income in rupees 1,62,034 rupees. Kerala 1,55,516 rupees. Come to Bihar 34,168. If I compare these 3 countries, I can say the developed these 3 states, then I can say the developed state is Haryana. That is why we say the farmers of Punjab and Haryana, they are very, very prosperous farmer, very rich. Come to the next is Kerala and see India, see Bihar, the lowest of all. Correct? Both are at least in 1 lakh and we are only in 34,168. It means if I take only per capita income, then also I can say that Bihar is the most poorest state compared to Haryana and Kerala. Correct? So this is what we have compared only according to per capita income. Now we have written the point life expectancy. What is this life expectancy? It measures the average age of a person in a country from the time of his birth. It measures the average age of a person in a country from the time of its birth. As little baby who has taken birth, the time when the baby has taken birth, from that particular time we measure what will be the appropriate age till the time the people is going to be alive. We take it approximately like, okay, 67 years or 70 years or 74 years. Correct? Here we are taking average age. We are not calculating that in between if accident takes place, in between a particular person suffers from a dreadful disease. We are not taking that. We are taking the average age of the particular country. It goes on changing from country to country. At the time of independence in India, the average age of the person in India was only 32 years, which later on increased to 60, 64, and at present it is 70 years. The average age of a person in our country at present is 70 years. But when we got independence in 1947, the average age or the life expectancy of the people in India was only 32 years. It means I'm alive for 32 years. At any time after that, I should be ready that I can die. But at present, it is 70 years. So till the time we are not reaching the age of 70, we can feel, yes, I won't be suffering or I won't be going to die. I can enjoy my life. And if we are having a healthy diet, we can be alive for 100 years, 125 years like that. So this is the average age. Now, this average age or the life expectancy depends upon what? It actually depends upon the health facility. If the health facility of a particular country is very good, you have very good medical services, you have all the medicines available, then you can say the life expectancy of that particular country is much better. So that country is much developed. Like we studied in Tibet, they have very good medical facilities. But at present, when we are suffering with this coronavirus, then all over the world, they are demanding the medicine from India. And thanks to Narendra Modi ji, who is just exporting these medicines to other countries. If you watch the news, you'll come to know. It means we also have better health facilities. Okay. So life expectancy is the average age of a person in a country from the time of its birth. What is literacy rate? So literacy rate, when I say it is education, depends on education. It means the number of people per thousand who are being educated. It means those who can read and write. But there is a difference between literacy and education. Just understand these two things. Literacy means a person who knows to read and write. Educated person, if I say, it means a person who knows to take the correct decision. That is what is right and what is wrong for the particular person. He is known as educated person. Literacy rate means a person who knows to read and write. You all are coming now under literacy. You are gaining the knowledge for reading and writing, but the knowledge what you use in your practical life, that is what is education. Correct? So number of people per thousand was getting the education in the country, that is literacy rate. Now coming to gross enrollment ratio. What is this gross enrollment ratio? When I speak about gross enrollment ratio, it means I'm measuring the education which is gained at three levels. That is primary education level, secondary education level, and higher education level. Now just understand what is gross enrollment again here. People enroll their name in different education institute. People enroll their name in different education institute, but daily they are not going to that educational institute for reading or attending the classes. It means at gross we have, if I am the class teacher of a particular class and I have 40 students in my section, out of 40, if today 33 students are present, it means gross enrollment is 40 out of the whole population, which could be more. But net attendance ratio, how many are attending? 33. So what is gross enrollment ratio here? 40. 40 people have got their name enrolled. India, these things are very common. They get their name enrolled in two different boards. Like for example, one Bihar board and one CBSE board. They see in CBSE board, my percentage is less, then they go and attend the Bihar board exam. But throughout the year, they don't attend the classes there. They attend the classes in one particular institute. But there also they are showing the gross enrollment ratio that the child is being enrolled. Now, I'm going to show you these 3 points what we studied right now. Correct? So here we are having the comparative data of Haryana, Kerala and Bihar. Correct? Again, I'm taking those 3 states only. Before this also for per capita also I took the same 3 states. Now infant mortality rate, whenever I speak, it means I'm talking about the children who die before the age of 1 year. Just come a little bit down and see there. Infant mortality rate. It means it indicates the number of children that die before the age of 1 year as a proportion of 1,000 live children born in that particular year. For example, in 2019 and 20, correct? If 1,000 children are born, out of that 20 children have died. So infant mortality rate 20 by 1,000, it means in 1,020 children have died. So here the ratio we are showing is according to 2015 and 16. In Haryana, out of 1,000 children, 36 used to die. Kerala, 12. Bihar, 42. If I ask you, which is the developed country out of these 3, developed state out of these 3, according to IMR, your answer should be Kerala, because very less number of children are dying per 1,000. So the best one here is Kerala. The best one here is Kerala, because less children are dying below the age of 1 year. After the age of 1 year, it doesn't come in infant, because infant itself means the child was taken birth till the age of 1 year. As soon as he completes 1 year, he will be now not infant. Okay. If I compare about literacy rate, this we are taking in percentage out of 100. So just see here, literacy rate measures the proportion of literate population. But literate population comes from when to when? it is coming in the age group of 7 and above. 7 and above. So the age of 7 and above. That is why you see Navodaya Vidyalaya, Kendriya Vidyalaya, these all start from class 1 onwards. Correct. Now when I'm checking that, you see literacy rate. पढ़े लिखे कितने लोग हैं उसमें था कितने बच्चे मरते हैं, इसीलिए इसमें हमने बोला केरला बेस्ट है क्योंकि बहुत कम बच्चे मरते हैं। और वर्स्ट कौन सा है ये तीनों में? बिहार, क्योंकि इसमें बहुत ज्यादा बच्चे मर रहे हैं 42। बट व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट लिटरेसी रेट अकॉर्डिंग टू 2011, then here you see Haryana 82%, Kerala 94%, Bihar 62%. The highest literacy rate is in Kerala. So the most literate state is Kerala. And this already in your GK also you have studied. Now we are coming to net attendance ratio. What is this? Just come to the last sentence here. Total number of children of the age group 14 and 15 years means you are attending class 10 board exam. They're attending the school as a percentage of total number of children in the same age group. Correct. So total number of children in the age group of 14 to 15 years attending school means class 10. Correct. If I take according to the year 2013 and 14, just see here ratio. It is also per 100%. In Haryana, it is coming as 61 children attending the classes in class 10. Kerala 83. Come to Bihar 43. So here also net attendance ratio, the children who are attending the school in the age group of 14 to 15 years, here also the maximum is Kerala. If I take these three particular points, infant mortality rate, literacy rate, and net attendance ratio, I see that in two areas, literacy and net attendance, even in infant mortality rate, Kerala is very good. It means Kerala is more developed than Haryana and Bihar. You see, everywhere Bihar is at the last. Maybe the day will come, maybe after 2 years, after 5 years, where Kerala is there, that particular position can be backed by Bihar. Possibility is there. When you all children will be coming to your practical life, we can change the scene.